Happy people, live your life, you are so contagious.
The International Day of Happiness is celebrated worldwide every March 20th and was conceptualized and founded by philanthropist, activist, and prominent United Nations Special Advisor Jamie Ilian to inspire, mobilize, and advance the global happiness movement. But what is the meaning of happiness? How do we define happiness? What makes people happy? According to the World Happiness Report 2019, the world is a rapidly changing place. Among the fastest changing aspects are those related to how people communicate and interact with each other, whether in their schools, in their workplaces, their neighborhoods, or in far-flung parts of the world.
If you give me money now, I will be happy now. Why not? Yes, now.
If you give me a job, a better job, I will be happy. Because once you give me money today, will you be able to give me tomorrow? So once you give me a job that will fresh me money, I will be happy for that.
When you have money, you'll be comfortable. You know what to do next. You know what to plan. So if you don't have money, you are not happy. What really makes me happy is money. So money first. When you have money, you are happy.
Primarily, happiness can be learned. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Naturally, we all have the inclination to be happy. We all have the inclination to process positive emotions, positive thoughts. However, most of the time, the challenge we have is this discord where our expectations sometimes do not lie with reality, and it affects our sense of being, our sense of self. It affects the way we see things. So sometimes people get stressed at work, they get overworked, the environment at work may not be conducive for their personal flourishing. So how do you cope in such environment? What are the things you need to learn? How do you put a divide between what's happening at work and how that affects your personal emotions? Those are the things we teach people.
So, in your work so far, what has been the major cause of unhappiness among your people?
Also.
Hustle. Okay.
Right. So there's what we call a hedonic treadmill. A few people actually still, and this is what the research also says. So I'm going to talk from personal experience and from the bolt of research and evidence about happiness and what it means to live a positive life. When people attach their happiness to external things, most of the time, even when they get those things, they still become less happy. So for instance, you're in a very good job and you feel, when I receive that promotion, I'm going to become happy. Right? What happens is that you receive the promotion, you become satisfied with it, right? And it wears down and you start looking for the next promotion, right? So when I get a job, I'm going to become happy. You get the job, but because that's not in a sense what you need to be happy. Physical things alone is not actually enough for people to be happy. The research shows that beyond financial sustenance, beyond emotional well-being, you also need friendship, you need love, you need compassion, you need some of these other things to become happy. So people fall in this hedonic treadmill of, I need something, I get it. Then they now discover that actually, while I've been striving all along to get this thing, while I'd cut out all relationships to get this thing, this in itself would never make me happy. So what they still do is, rather than learn from that experience, we say, oh no, we should actually go again. When this comes again, when I buy the next car, when I buy the next model, I'll become much more happy. And you get the next model and you don't become happy. And that treadmill also continues. One other challenge I've also seen and observed, and this is also research-based, is that because one major challenge with my generation is social comparison. So we start with a very wonderful day, right? Do our morning meditations and other things, right? Exactly, and you just get attracted by the genie in your phone, and pop, you click the button, you're on social media, and immediately it affects your sense of how you relate with the world. A couple of hours before that, you were all, you were yourself. You were breathing. You felt that the most important thing in the world is you, right? You felt that regardless of what's happening, you're fine. But you go on social media and you start seeing people's perception of themselves that they want you to see, right?
Okay.
Which is unfortunately not the real truth.
Then how do we draw the balance? Because the thing is, especially, and then you correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like in this generation we have had the highest rate of depression, of suicide. Even though people say no, it's not really true that like people report it more now. But I feel like more people are trying to take their lives, trying to end their lives now. So how do you draw the balance? How do you begin to say, okay, this is what makes me happy. I may not be content or be where I think I should be, but I'm okay. So how do you now begin to draw the balance?
There's this random joke that we run at Joy Inc. that one of the things people say a whole lot is that, that number one crisis Nigerians have, or majority of people have, is this is not where I'm supposed to be in life. As if there was a blueprint, a plan that says that at so time, this is what you should do. Right? Rather than that, why not? I think people need to start learning how to accept things. And I'm not saying accept mediocrity. I'm not saying accept failure. I'm saying when things happen, understand why they happen and interface with that. Right? Do not tie your happiness to certain outcomes. Do the work. Do the best thing. So for instance, you're a writer. Do the best thing, which is do the work of writing a very good piece. But do not attach your self-worth to the outcome of making the book a bestseller. Right? And this is attached to every other thing, really. Last year we did a survey, a nationwide survey about depression, and this is when you talked about the depression rate or the suicide rate. And before then, what we used to know was that maybe about 7 million Nigerians were at risk of depression. Right? However, last year when NOI Polls did a nationwide survey, we found out that 60 million Nigerians were at risk of depression.
Wow.
People talk about this at our master classes. So we just felt that, oh, maybe it's due to interaction until we carried out that survey. And when we released it last year, it was like, wow, how do we do this? So this is real. We understand that. While we understand that this is real, we would also let people know that what they feel is valid. It's fine to feel that way. It's fine to feel any other feeling that we feel as a human being. So it's fine to be happy. It's fine to be sad. It's fine to feel anger. It's fine to feel jealous. It's fine to have all these feelings as much as you can control them, as much as you can understand the cause or what triggers these feelings, and as much as you can overcome them.
Now the challenge is this. I will now go to mental health. So yes, I have even opened up to you that I've been depressed at some point, and then I get out of it, and then yes, once in a while because you. What do we do about people that are depressed like all the time, that are unhappy all the time? How do we now draw the line and say, okay, this is a problem, or oh, this is attached to something, and this person will snap out of it? How do we know? And then when we know, what do we do?
So I think the most important thing is when you are depressed and really there's no one to really tell you that you are depressed until a clinician says that. So apart from, there has to be a clinical test to say this person is clinically depressed, right? However, we have situational depression. So certain thing happened, maybe someone lost his or her child, or someone lost the job, and that conflict with your sense of self-worth. You could go very sad and situational depression. So when you feel the way you feel, call for help. That's the most important thing. Seek help wherever it is. So it could be from calling an helpline to talk anonymously. It could be walking to a center or a non-judgmental space to get the help. It could be talking to a therapist, a psychologist, a psychotherapist. It could be talking with your peers. It could be going back to what you enjoy most. But first, the most important thing I would say is seek help. Your therapist will now help you in looking at all the positive psychology assessments and exercises and say, oh, this is the best for you after communicating with you. So it could be reaching out to friends or family. You know, there's this Harvard grant study that the study was spanned over 100 years, and they were trying to look at what exactly makes people happy. You know, they measured everything from people's income to the size of their scrotum to just know what exactly makes people happy. And the result is love. Healthy relationships actually make people happy. Right? So when people are feeling depressed, what I would advise is seek help. Talk to someone. Actually, depression or mental or emotional health issues are similar to sinkholes. You know, it's when you are sinking, that's not the best time to struggle. However, that's the best time to just say, I need help to get out. That's not the best time to keep quiet. It's the best time to seek help. So that's what I would just say. Seek help. And help is all around. Help is around. There are several mental health organizations that are doing incredible work in this space. Recently, we opened the Joy Hub.
Yes, I was going to ask why you guys did that.
That's because really, as much as we are teaching young people or young professionals or teaching young Africans the skills they need to become happy and resilient, as long as we still have bodies, we've discovered that people would always need spaces to walk into, non-judgmental spaces, where you know that whatever you say, regardless of how you feel, regardless of who you are, you're going to be accepted and loved. You're going to be listened to. So that's one of the reasons we opened the Joy Hub. It's a non-judgmental space where people dealing with anxiety, depression, or thoughts of suicide, or who just really want to have someone to listen to them, can just go in to get the help they need to heal.
Happier people are not only more likely to engage in politics and vote, but also are more likely to vote for incumbent parties. What advice would you give to just the average young person, especially on this part of the divide? You were telling me earlier on that Finland is the happiest place in the world, and we ranked number 85.
Which is actually an improvement, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2 years ago we ranked 95. Last year we ranked like 91. This year...
What are the indices to indicate whether we're happy or not happy?
Well, how we measure happiness majorly is using country ladder. So, and this is very simple. You can measure GDP.
That was used for the poll as well.
Yeah, that was also used for the poll. So you can measure GDP, you can measure several other things. But what the United Nations use in measuring happiness is asking people. Right? So you want to know how happy people are? Ask them. So what they do is the country ladder helps you ask one simple question, which is on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the highest and 0 being the lowest, how happy or how satisfied are you with the quality of your life now? How satisfied were you with the quality of your life 5 years ago? How satisfied do you think you will be with the quality of your life in the next 5 years? Right. So with that helps pick a range. So for those who rank between 8, an average of 8 and above, we'll say, oh, they're flourishing. You know, the survey we did last year, the nationwide survey we did, the whole of Nigerians were ranking between 4.8, 4.9, right? That of the World Happiness Report ranks us around 5 point something. You know. So we're 85 this year. Mauritius is the most happiest African country right now at 55. So what should young people do? The pursuit for happiness actually should not really be a pursuit. Take your happiness as one of the most important things you should do. Be real with yourself. Do not go into social comparison. Be real with yourself. Understand how you feel. And I think that's the most important thing. Understand how you feel and let that guide whatever decisions you make. So for instance, you want to take a job and you do not feel that you'll be happy in that job, don't take it. These are sometimes it look as if, oh, it's at the other extreme, or it's something, sometimes it's hard to do, but really understand how you feel, right? Understand that you want to go into a relationship. As much as you can do the work that is required of you, be professional about it. Put quality service into it. However, detach yourself from the outcome. If it goes the way you want it, that's fine. If it doesn't, take it. Look at the outcome. Oh, this didn't work as I planned. Then go back to the drawing board. What exactly did we miss wrong? What exactly didn't work as planned? Why did we get this output or outcome? And then rework the whole system. Yeah.
It's very simple, but
I'm afraid to say it's not as simple as it sounds. Really, it's not as simple as it sounds. But take other things, take other actions. Sometimes I recommend meditation, which is a very good thing. Start your day on the good note. Understand what makes you happy, what you like. I recommend meditation. I recommend gratitude journaling. And that's because research also shows that it's easier for us to forget the positive things in our lives while we have a difficult time trying to forget the negative ones. You know, so because the positive ones it comes and it flitters away. Our mind reminds us of the negative ones. So gratitude journaling is one thing that I recommend. Mention about 5 things every day. 5 things you're grateful for. Grateful for life, grateful for... Yeah, these are just practices that we really need to go on. That's on the individual level. Now, on a corporate or societal level, businesses need to start taking note of well-being as a measure for progress. And this is so important to the grassroots. Businesses and government need to start thinking beyond financial outcomes, beyond GDP, beyond what's the profit margin, to what's the well-being, how happy our staff, how happy our citizens. For businesses who are running services, how happy are our customers? And this is not about how satisfied are they. This is how are we ensuring that whatsoever we are doing in the long run leads to an higher well-being and human happiness of the people we serve. So really, government needs to start putting that as the major metric for all policy development.
Thank you so much for taking our time to come and for expatiating this on happiness. Happiness seems such like it's not something you can hold, but it's something like everybody needs it. All right. Thank you so much.